So I ran away when I was 14, 15 years old, and I came in Amsterdam at the central station, and I was picked up by a man who gave me food and a house to stay. And I went with him because I didn't have another place to go. I was so naive, I believed I could find a job, I could find work, people to help me.
They pick up boys who are coming from abroad to the big cities. They pick them up at the stations. There are guys who are very clever, who see he's coming, he has nothing to do. They speak to him and they say, you're looking for a place to sleep, you can come with me, you can sleep. And then they give them alcohol, they give them drugs.
The day after I woke up, I found myself without clothes. And he made some pictures of me. And I said, what are you going to do with the pictures? Yeah, I will send them to your parents if you don't want to work for us. And I said, what kind of work? He told me about these brothels where young boys work. And I said, I don't want to do it. And then they forced me into this business.
They cannot go back home. It's impossible. So they have to stay at that place, by these guys.
I couldn't leave. A simple reason, they blackmailed me with these photos, with this kinder porn, this child pornography, what I was used for. I was naive, I was scared.
It can go on because it's very good organized. And there's always people who are running away from home and going to the big city. It's all around going on.
In these brothels there worked young boys from 14 until 18. I worked with 7, 8 boys my age for 15 years. They were also involved in a network, that's for sure. An international network of pedophiles, smuggling boys in from Poland, Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, UK, to work in these brothels in the Netherlands, and especially Amsterdam.
And he was for 4 years used as a young prostitute. And still he is suffering a lot about what happened to him then. And that's why he came to me to see if I could help him.
I was too naive and too shy and afraid that something would happen if I went away or ran away from this brothel. When I worked in the brothels, most of them were pedophiles who were looking for have sex with young boys.
And he was sent to customers, or the customers came to the brothel. He was sent to parties where children were really abused with real SM techniques, young kids.
When I used to work in these brothels, it was very obvious to other people that I was a minor, younger than 18 years old. I looked 14, 15 years old. I really suffered and sometimes had a hard time to survive because you work and sleep on the same bed.
They give them more drugs, more alcohol, they make movies of them, and then it's the problem for the guys when they want to run away, to go back home. They cannot be back home before they can be blackmailed with their families.
Yeah, I was actually 3 times filmed in a movie. 2 were made in Amsterdam, and 1 is made in the Eemhof in Zeewolde. And the movie was made also with 14, 15, 16-year-old boys.
They drogate them, and after that they blackmail them, and that is a psychology slave.
I also have seen and meet people who made snuff movies. Snuff movie is a movie where several boys or 1 boy gets sexually abused and murdered at the end of the movie. They asked me to play in one of these movies for a lot of money, and I refused because I knew from other boys that it can be very bad for you because you don't survive it.
The customers of those youth brothels are not the normal people you think about walking in the night and entering those brothels, but among them were high-level politicians, members of the prosecution office, and high politicians. So people with high status in Dutch society.
I was in the festival bar working there in my youth when I was 14, 15 years old. And I met people there who are pedophiles. I had contact with Professor van Roon when I was 15 years old.
He was a professor at the University of Amsterdam, and he was actually the center of this whole Rolodex investigation because he had all the numbers of high-level politicians, lawyers, juridical officials, and so on. And he was actually the go-between, the mediator between the brothel and the high-level customers.